Advanced SEO Techniques. Written by Leroy Vincent. Narrated by Dwayne DeSalvo. Introduction. This book is a hard-hitting guide that gives you the information you need to make the adjustments to your site right away to help improve your search rankings and benefit from the increase in organic search traffic. Search engine optimization, or SEO, is simply the act of manipulating the pages of your website to be easily accessible by search engine spiders so they can be easily spidered and indexed. A spider is a robot that searches engines used to check millions of web pages very quickly and sort them by relevance. A page is indexed when it is spidered and deemed appropriate content to be placed in the search engine's results for people to click on. The art and science of understanding how search engines identify pages that are relevant to a query made by a visitor and designing marketing strategies based on this is called search engine optimization. Search engines offer the most cost-effective mechanism to acquire real and live business leads. It is found that in most cases, search engine optimization delivers a better ROI than other forms such as online advertisements, email marketing and newsletters, affiliate and pay-per-click advertising, and digital campaigns and promotions. What on earth is an algorithm? Each search engine has something called an algorithm, which is the formula that each search engine uses to evaluate web pages and determine their relevance and value when crawling them for possible inclusion in their search engine. A crawler is the robot that browses all of these pages for the search engine. Google algorithm is key. Google has a comprehensive and highly developed technology, a straightforward interface, and a wide-ranging array of search tools which enable the users to easily access a variety of information online. Google users can browse the web and find information in various languages, retrieve maps, stock quotes, and read news, search for a long-lost friend using the phone book listings available on Google for all of U.S. cities, and basically surf the 3 billion-odd web pages on the Internet. Google boasts of having the world's largest archive of Usenet messages dating all the way back to 1981. Google's technology can be accessed from any conventional desktop PC, as well as from various wireless platforms such as WAP and iMode phones, handheld devices, and other such Internet-equipped gadgets. PageRank based on popularity. The web search technology offered by Google is often the technology of choice of the world's leading portals and websites. It has also benefited the advertisers with its unique advertising program that does not hamper the web surfing experience of its users, but still brings revenues to the advertisers. When you search for a particular keyword or a phrase, most of the search engines return a list of pages in order of the number of times the keyword or phrase appears on the website. Google Web Search technology involves the use of its indigenously designed PageRank technology and hypertext matching analysis, which makes several instantaneous calculations undertaken without any human intervention. Google's structural design also expands simultaneously as the Internet expands. PageRank technology involves the use of an equation which comprises of millions of variables and terms and determines a factual measurement of the significance of web pages, and is calculated by solving an equation of 500 million variables and more than 3 billion terms. Unlike some other search engines, Google does not calculate links, but utilizes the extensive link structure of the web as an organizational tool. When the link to a page, let's say page B, is clicked from a page A, then that click is attributed as a vote towards page B on behalf of page A. Backlinks are considered popularity votes. Quintessentially, Google calculates the importance of a page by the number of such votes it receives. Not only that, Google also assesses the importance of the pages that are involved in the voting process. Consequently, pages that are themselves ahead in ranking and are important in that way also help to make other pages important. One thing to note here is that Google's technology does not involve human intervention in any way and uses the inherent intelligence of the Internet and its resources to determine the ranking and importance of any page. Hypertext matching analysis. Unlike its conventional counterparts, Google is a search engine which is hypertext-based. This means that it analyzes all the content on each web page and factors in fonts, subdivisions, and the exact positions of all terms on the page. Not only that, Google also evaluates the content of its nearest web pages. This policy of not disregarding any subject matter pays off in the end and enables Google to return results that are closest to user queries. Google has a very simple three-step procedure in handling a query submitted in its search box. 1. When the query is submitted and the Enter key is pressed, the web server sends the query to the index servers. Index server is exactly what its name suggests. It consists of an index much like the index of a book, which displays where is the particular page containing the queried term and where it's located in the entire book. 2. After this, the query proceeds to the doc servers, and these servers actually retrieve the stored documents. Page descriptions or snippets are then generated to suitably describe each search result. 3. These results are then returned to the user in less than 1 second, normally. Approximately once a month, Google updates their index by recalculating the page ranks of each of the web pages that they have crawled. The period during the update is known as the Google dance. Do you know the Google dance? The algorithm shuffle. Because of the nature of PageRank, the calculations need to be performed about 40 times, and because the index is so large, the calculations take several days to complete. During this period, the search results fluctuate, sometimes minute by minute. It is because of these fluctuations that the term Google dance was coined. The dance usually takes place sometime during the last third of each month. Google has 2 other servers that can be used for searching. The search results on them also change during the monthly update, and they are part of the Google dance. For the rest of the month, fluctuations sometimes occur in the search results, but they should not be confused with the actual dance. They are due to Google's fresh crawl and to what is known as Everflux. Google has 2 other searchable servers apart from www.google.com. They are www.2.google.com and www.3.google.com. Most of the time, the results on all 3 servers are the same, but during the dance, they are different. For most of the dance, the rankings that can be seen on www.2 and www.3 are the new rankings that will transfer to www when the dance is over. Even though the calculations are done about 40 times, the final rankings can be seen from very early on. This is because during the first few iterations, the calculated figures merge to being close to their final figures. You can see this with the PageRank calculator by checking the data box and performing some calculations. After the first few iterations, the search results on www.2 and www.3 may still change, but only slightly. During the dance, the results from www.2 and www.3 will sometimes show on the www server, but only briefly. Also, the new results on www.2 and www.3 can disappear for short periods. At the end of the dance, the results on www will match those on www.2 and www.3. Google Dance Tool. The Google Dance Tool allows you to check your rankings on all 3 tools, www, www.2, and www.3, and on all 9 data centers simultaneously. The Google Web Directory works in combination of the Google Search technology and the Netscape Open Directory project, which makes it possible to search the Internet organized by topic. Google displays the pages in order of the rank given to it using the PageRank technology. It not only searches the titles and descriptions of the websites, but searches the entire content of sites within a related category, which ultimately delivers a comprehensive search to the users. Google also has a fully functional web directory which categorizes all the searches in order. Submitting your URL to Google. Google is primarily a fully automatic search engine with no human intervention involved in the search process. It utilizes robots known as spiders to crawl the web on a regular basis for new updates and new websites to be included in the Google index. This robot software follows hyperlinks from site to site. Google does not require that you should submit your URL to its database for inclusion in the index, as it is done anyway automatically by the spiders. However, manual submission of URL can be done by going to the Google website and clicking the related link. One important thing here is that Google does not accept payment of any sort for site submission or improving page rank of your website. Also, submitting your site through the Google website does not guarantee listing in the index. Cloaking. Sometimes a webmaster might program the server in such a way that it returns different content to Google than it returns to its regular users, which is often done to misrepresent search engine rankings. This process is referred to as cloaking, as it conceals the actual website and returns distorted web pages to search engines crawling the site. This can mislead users about what they'll find when they click on a search result. Google highly disapproves of any such practice and might place a ban on the website which is found guilty of cloaking. Google Guidelines. Here are some of the important tips and tricks that can be employed while dealing with Google. Do's. A website should have crystal clear hierarchy and links, and should preferably be easy to navigate. A sitemap is required to help the users go around your site, and in case the sitemap has more than 100 links, then it is advisable to break it into several pages to avoid clutter. Come up with essential and precise keywords and make sure that your website features relevant and informative content. The Google crawler will not recognize text hidden in the images, so when describing important names, keywords, or links, stick with plain text. The title and alt tag should be descriptive and accurate, and the website should have no broken links or incorrect HTML. Dynamic pages, the URL consisting of a question mark character, should be kept to a minimum, as not every search engine spider is able to crawl them. The robots.txt file on your web server should be current and should not block the Googlebot crawler. This file tells crawlers which directories can or cannot be crawled. Don'ts. When making a site, do not cheat your users. That is, those people who will surf your website. Do not provide them with irrelevant content or present them with any fraudulent schemes. Avoid tricks or link schemes designed to increase your site's ranking. Do not employ hidden text or hidden links. Google frowns upon websites using cloaking technique, hence, it is advisable to avoid that. Automated queries should not be sent to Google. Avoid stuffing pages with irrelevant words and content. Also, don't create multiple pages, subdomains, or domains with significantly duplicate content. Avoid doorway pages created just for search engines or other cookie-cutter approaches such as affiliate programs with hardly any original content. Crawler spider considerations. Also consider technical factors. If a site has a slow connection, it might time out for the crawler. Very complex pages, too, may time out before the crawler can harvest the text. If you have a hierarchy of directories at your site, put the most important information high, not deep. Some search engines will presume that the higher you place the information, the more important it is, and crawlers may not venture deeper than 3 or 4 or 5 directory levels. Above all, remember the obvious. Full-text search engines search indexed text. You may well be tempted to use fancy and expensive design techniques that either block search engine crawlers or leave your pages with very little plain text that can be indexed. Don't fall prey to that temptation. Ranking rules of thumb. The simple rule of thumb is that content counts, and that content near the top of a page counts for more than content at the end. In particular, the HTML title and the first couple of lines of text are the most important part of your pages. If the words and phrases that match a query happen to appear in the HTML title or first couple of lines of text of one of your pages, chances are very good that the page will appear high in the list of search results. A crawler spider search engine can base its ranking on both static factors, a computation of the value of page independent of any particular query, and query-dependent factors. Values. Long pages which are rich in meaningful text, not randomly generated letters and words. Pages that serve as good hubs, with lots of links to pages that have related content. Topic similarity rather than random meaningless links, such as those generated by link exchange programs or intended to generate a false impression of popularity. The connectivity of pages, including not just how many links there are to a page, but where the links come from. The number of distinct domains and the quality ranking of those particular sites. This is calculated for the site and also for individual pages. A site or a page is good if many pages at many different sites point to it, and especially if many good sites point to it. The level of the directory in which the page is found. Higher is considered more important. If a page is buried too deep, the crawler simply won't go that far and will never find it. These static factors are recomputed about once a week, and new good pages slowly percolate upward in the rankings. Note that there are advantages to having a simple address and sticking to it, so others can build links to it, and so you know that it's in the index. Query-dependent factors. The HTML title. The first lines of text. Query words and phrases appearing early in a page rather than late. Meta tags, which are treated as ordinary words in the text, but like words that appear early in the text, unless the meta tags are patently unrelated to the content on the page itself, in which case the page will be penalized. Words mentioned in the anchor text associated with hyperlinks to your pages. For example, if lots of good sites link to your site with anchor text breast cancer, and the query is breast cancer, chances are good that you will appear high on the list of matches. Blanket policy on doorway pages and cloaking. Many search engines are opposed to doorway pages and cloaking. They consider doorway and cloaked pages to be spam and encourage people to use other avenues to increase the relevancy of their pages. We'll talk about doorway pages and cloaking a bit later. Meta tags. Ask.com is an example. Though meta tags are indexed and considered to be regular text, Ask.com claims it doesn't give them priority over HTML titles and other text. Though you should use meta tags on all your pages, some webmasters claim their doorway pages for Ask.com rank better when they don't use them. If you do use meta tags, make your description tag no more than 150 characters and your keywords tag no more than 1,024 characters long. Keywords in the URL and file name. It's generally believed that Ask.com gives some weight to keywords in file names and URL names. If you're creating a file, try to name it with keywords. Keywords in the alt tags. Ask.com indexes alt tags, so if you use images on your site, make sure to add them. Alt tags should contain more than the image's description. They should include keywords, especially if the image is at the top of the page. Alt tags are explained later. Page length. There's been some debate about how long doorway pages for Alta Vista should be. Some webmasters say short pages rank higher, while others argue that long pages are the way to go. According to Alta Vista's help section, it prefers long and informative pages. We've found that pages with 600 to 900 words are most likely to rank well. Frame support. Alta Vista has the ability to index frames, but it sometimes indexes and links to pages intended only as navigation. To keep this from happening to you, submit a frame-free sitemap containing the pages that you want indexed. You may also want to include a robots.txt file to prohibit AltaVista from indexing certain pages. What your website absolutely needs. This section will go over some of the most important elements that a page that hopes to get high research engine rankings needs. Make sure that you go through this section very carefully, as each of these can have a dramatic impact on the rankings that your website will ultimately achieve. Don't focus solely on the homepage, keywords, and titles. The first step to sales when customers visit your site is to see the products they were looking for. Of course, search engine optimization and better rankings can't keep your customer on your site or make them buy. The customer, having visited your site, now ensures that he gets interested in your products or services and stays around. Motivate him to buy the product by providing clear and unambiguous information. Thus, if you happen to sell more than one product or service, provide all necessary information about this, maybe by keeping the information at a different page. By providing suitable and easily visible links, the customer can navigate to these pages and get the details. Understanding your target customer. If you design a website you think will attract clients, but you don't really know who your customers are and what they want to buy, it's unlikely you will make much money. Website business is an extension or replacement for a standard storefront. You can send email to your existing clients and ask them to complete a survey, or even while they are browsing on your website. Ask them about their choices. Why do they like your products? Do you discount prices or offer coupons? Are your prices consistently lower than others? Is your shipping price cheaper? Do you respond faster to client questions? Are your product descriptions better? Your return policies and guarantees better than your competitors? To know your customer, you can check credit card records or ask your customer to complete a simple contact form with name, address, age, gender, etc. when they purchase a product. Does your website give enough contact information? When you sell from a website, your customer can buy your products 24 hours a day, and also your customers may be from other states that are thousands of miles away. Always provide contact information, preferably on every page of your website, complete with mailing address, telephone number, and an email address that reaches you. People may need to contact you about sales, general information, or technical problems on your site. Also have your email forwarded to another email address if you do not check your website mailbox often. When customers want to buy online, provide enough options like credit card, PayPal, or other online payment service. In the field of search engine optimization, SEO, writing a strong homepage that will rank high in the engines and will read well with your site visitors can sometimes present a challenge, even to some seasoned SEO professionals. Once you have clearly identified your exact keywords and key phrases, the exact location on your homepage where you will place those carefully researched keywords will have a drastic impact in the end results of your homepage optimization. One thing we hear most people say is that they don't want to change the looks or more especially the wording on their homepage. Understandably, some of them went to great lengths and invested either a lot of time and/or money to make it the best it can be. Being the best it can be for your site visitors is one thing, but is it the best it can be for the search engines in terms of how your site will rank? If you need powerful rankings in the major search engines and at the same time you want to successfully convert your visitors and prospects into real buyers, it's important to effectively write your homepage the proper way the first time. You should always remember that a powerfully optimized homepage pleases both the search engines and your prospects. In randomly inserting keywords and key phrases into your old homepage, you might run the risk of getting good rankings, but at the same time it might jeopardize your marketing flow. That is a mistake nobody would ever want to do with their homepage. Even today, there are still some people that will say you can edit your homepage for key phrases without rewriting the whole page. There are important reasons why that strategy might not work. The homepage. Your homepage is the most important page on your website. If you concentrate your most important keywords and key phrases in your homepage many times, the search engines will surely notice and index it accordingly. But will it still read easily, and will the sentences flow freely to your real human visitors? There are some good chances that it might not. As a primer, having just 40 or 50 words on your homepage will not deliver the message effectively. To be powerful and effective, a homepage needs at least 300 to 400 words for maximum search engine throughput and effectiveness. One way to do that is to increase your word count with more value-added content. This often means rewriting your whole homepage all over again. The main reason to do this is you will probably never have enough room to skillfully work your important keywords and key phrases into the body text of your homepage. This may not please your boss or marketing department, but a full rewrite is often necessary and highly advisable to achieve high rankings in the engines, while at the same time having a homepage that will please your site visitors and convert a good proportion of them into real buyers. The acid test. Here is the acid test that will prove what we just said is right. Carefully examine the body text of your existing homepage. Then, attempt to insert 3 to 5 different keywords and key phrases 3 to 4 times each, somewhere within the actual body of your existing page. In doing that, chances are you will end up with a homepage that is next to impossible to understand and read. One mistake some people do is to force their prospects to wade through endless key phrase lists or paragraphs in an attempt to describe their features and benefits. The other reason they do that is in trying to please the search engines at the same time. Writing a powerful and effective homepage around carefully defined keywords and key phrases is a sure way you can drive targeted traffic to your website and keep them there once you do. If some people still say rewriting a homepage takes too much time and costs too much money, think of the cost of losing prospective clients and the real cost of lost sales and lost opportunities. In the end, writing a strong homepage will achieve all your desired goals and will largely justify your time invested and the efforts you will have placed in the rewriting of your homepage. This section presents a recommended layout for your homepage in order to make it as search engine friendly as possible. This is where you set the theme of your site. Let's suppose the primary focus of your site is about online education. You also have secondary content that is there as alternative content for those not interested in online education. There is also other content that you would like to share with your visitors. For example, this might include book reviews, humor, and links. The top of your homepage, as discussed earlier, is the most important. This is where you set the keywords and theme for the most important part of your site, the thing you really want to be found for. Step-by-step page optimization. Starting at the top of your index homepage should be something like this, after your logo or header graphic. 1. A heading tag that includes a keyword or keyword phrases. A heading tag is bigger and bolder text than normal body text, so a search engine places more importance on it because you emphasize it. 2. Heading sizes ranging from H1 to H6, with H1 being the largest text. If you learn to use just a little cascading style sheet code, you can control the size of your headings. You could set an H1-sized heading to be only slightly larger than your normal text if you choose, and the search engine will still see it as an important heading. 3. Next would be an introduction that describes your main theme. This would include several of your top keywords and keyword phrases. Repeat your top 1 or 2 keywords several times, including other keyword search terms too, but make it read in sentences that make sense to your visitors. 4. A second paragraph could be added that got more specific using other words related to online education. 5. Next you could put smaller heading. 6. Then you'd list the links to your pages and ideally have a brief decision of each link using keywords and keyword phrases in the text. You also want to have several pages of quality content to link to. Repeat that procedure for all your links that relate to your theme. 7. Next, you might include a closing, keyword-laden paragraph. More is not necessarily better when it comes to keywords, at least after a certain point. Writing online education 50 times across your page would probably result in you being caught for trying to cheat. Ideally, somewhere between 3 to 20% of your page text would be keywords. The percentage changes often and is different at each search engine. The 3 to 20 rule is a general guideline, and you can go higher if it makes sense and isn't redundant. 8. Finally, you can list your secondary content of book reviews, humor, and links. Skip the descriptions if they aren't necessary, or they may water down your theme too much. If you must include descriptions for these non-theme related links, keep them short and sweet. You also might include all the other site sections as simply a link to another index that lists them all. You could call it entertainment, miscellaneous, or whatever. These can be sub-indexes that can be optimized toward their own theme, which is the ideal way to go. Now you've set the all-important top of your page up with a strong theme. So far, so good. But this isn't the only way you can create a strong theme, so don't be compelled into following this exact formula. This was just an example to show you one way to set up a strong site theme. Use your imagination. You may come up with an even better way. One site, one theme. It's important to note that you shouldn't try to optimize your homepage for more than one theme. They just end up weakening each other's strength when you do that. By using simple links to your alternative content, a link to your humor page can get folks where they want to go. And then you can write your humor page as a secondary index optimized toward a humor theme. In the end, each page should be optimized for search engines for the main topic of that page or site section. Search engine optimization is made up of many simple techniques that work together to create a comprehensive overall strategy. This combination of techniques is greater as a whole than the sum of the parts. While you can skip any small technique that is a part of the overall strategy, it will subtract from the edge you'd gain by employing all the tactics. Affiliate sites and dynamic URLs. In affiliate programs, sites that send you traffic and visitors have to be paid on the basis of per-click or other parameters, such as number of pages visited on your site, duration spent, transactions, etc. Most common contractual understanding revolves around payment per click or click-throughs. Affiliates use tracking software that monitors such clicks using a redirection measurement system. The validity of affiliate programs in boosting your link analysis is doubtful. Nevertheless, it is felt that it does not actually do any harm. It does provide you visitors, and that is important. In the case of some search engine redirects, they may even count in favor of your link analysis. Use affiliate programs, but this is not a major strategy for optimization. Several pages in e-commerce and other functional sites are generated dynamically and have a question mark or ampersand sign in their dynamic URLs. These signs separate the CGI variables. While Google will crawl these pages, many other engines will not. One inconvenient solution is to develop static equivalent of the dynamic pages and have them on your site. Another way to avoid such dynamic URLs is to rewrite these URLs using a syntax that is accepted by the crawler and also understood as equivalent to the dynamic URL by the application server. The Amazon site shows dynamic URLs in such syntax. If you are using Apache Web Server, you can use Apache rewrite rules to enable this conversion. One good tip is that you should prepare a crawler page or pages and submit this to the search engines. This page should have no text or content except for links to all the important pages that you wish to be crawled. When the spider reaches this page, it would crawl to all the links and would suck all the desired pages into its index. You can also break up the main crawler page into several smaller pages if the size becomes too large. The crawler shall not reject smaller pages, whereas larger pages may get bypassed if the crawler finds them too slow to be spidered. You do not have to be concerned that the result may throw up this sitemap page and would disappoint the visitor. This will not happen, as the sitemap has no searchable content and will not get included in the results. Rather, all other pages would. We found the site Wired.com had published hierarchical sets of crawler pages. The first crawler page lists all the category headlines. These links lead to a set of links with all story headlines, which in turn lead to the news stories. Page size can be a factor. We have written above that the spiders may bypass long and difficult pages. They would have their own timeout characteristics or other controls that help them come unstuck from such pages. So you do not want to have such a page become your gateway page. One tip is to keep the page size below 100 kilobytes. How many pages to submit? You do not have to submit all the pages of your site. As stated earlier, many sites have restrictions on the number of pages you submit. A key page or a page that has links to many inner pages is ideal, but you must submit some inner pages. This ensures that even if the first page is missed, the crawler does get to access other pages and all the important pages through them. Submit your key 3 to 4 pages at least. Choose the ones that have the most relevant content and keywords to suit your target search string and verify that they link to other pages properly. Should you use frames? Many websites make use of frames on their web pages. In some cases, more than 2 frames would be used on a single web page. The reason why most websites use frames is because each frame's content has a different source. A master page known as a frame set controls the process of clubbing content from different sources into a single web page. Such frames make it easier for webmasters to club multiple sources into a single web page. This, however, has a huge disadvantage when it comes to search engines. Some of the older search engines do not have the capability to read content from frames. These only crawl through the frame set instead of all the web pages. Consequently, web pages with multiple frames are ignored by the spider. There are certain tags known as no frames, information ignored by frames-capable browser, that can be inserted into the HTML of these web pages. Spiders are able to read information within the no frames tags. Thus, search engines only see the frame set. Moreover, there cannot be any links to other web pages in the no frames blocks. That means the search engines won't crawl past the frame set, thus ignoring all the content-rich web pages that are controlled by the frame set. Hence, it is always advisable to have web pages without frames, as these could easily make your website invisible to search engines. Making frames visible to search engines. We discussed earlier the prominence of frames-based websites. Many amateur web designers do not understand the drastic effects frames can have on search engine visibility. Such ignorance is augmented by the fact that some search engines such as Google and Ask.com are actually frames capable. Ask.com spiders can crawl through frames and index all web pages of a website. However, this is only true for a few search engines. The best solution as stated above is to avoid frames altogether. If you still decide to use frames, another remedy to this problem is using JavaScript. JavaScript can be added anywhere and is visible to search engines. These would enable spiders to crawl to other web pages even if they do not recognize frames. With a little trial and error, you can make your frame sites accessible to both types of search engines. Stop words. Stop words are common words that are ignored by search engines at the time of searching a key phrase. This is done in order to save space on their server and also to accelerate the search process. When a search is conducted in a search engine, it will exclude the stop words from the search query and will use the query by replacing all the stop words with a marker. A marker is a symbol that is substituted with the stop words. The intention is to save space. This way, the search engines are able to save more web pages in that extra space, as well as retain the relevancy of the search query. Besides, omitting a few words also speeds up the search process. For instance, if a query consists of 3 words, the search engine would generally make 3 runs for each of the words and display the listings. However, if one of the words is such that omitting it does not make a difference to the search results, it can be excluded from the query, and consequently the search process becomes faster. Some commonly excluded stop words are after, also, an, and, as, at, be, because, before, between, but, for, however, from, if, in, into, of, or, other, out, since, such, than, that, the, these, there, this, those, to, under, upon, when, where, whether, which, with, within, without. Image alt tag descriptions. Search engines are unable to view graphics or distinguish text that might be contained within them. For this reason, most engines will read the content of the image alt tags to determine the purpose of a graphic. By taking the time to craft relevant, yet keyword-rich alt tags for the images on your website, you increase the keyword density of your site. Although many search engines read and index the text contained within alt tags, it's important not to go overboard in using these tags as part of your SEO campaign. Most engines will not give this text any more weight than the text within the body of your site. Invisible and tiny text. Invisible text is content on a website that is coded in a manner that makes it invisible to human visitors, but readable by search engine spiders. This is done in order to artificially inflate the keyword density of a website without affecting the visual appearance of it. Hidden text is a recognized spam tactic, and nearly all of the major search engines recognize and penalize sites that use this tactic. This is the technique of placing text on a page in small font size. Pages that are predominantly heavy in tiny text may be dismissed as spam, or the tiny text may not be indexed. As a general guideline, try to avoid pages where the font size is predominantly smaller than normal. Make sure that you're not spamming the engine by using keyword after keyword in a very small font size. Your tiny text may be a copyright notice at the very bottom of the page, or even your contact information. If so, that's fine. Keyword stuffing and spamming. Important keywords and descriptions should be used in your content in visible meta tags, and you should choose the words carefully and position them near the top and have proper frequency for such words. However, it is very important to adopt moderation in this. Keyword stuffing or spamming is a no-no today. Most search engine algorithms can spot this, bypass the spam, and some may even penalize it. Dynamic URLs. Several pages in e-commerce and other functional sites are generated dynamically and have the question mark or ampersand sign in their dynamic URLs. These signs separate the CGI variables. While Google will crawl these pages, many other engines will not. One inconvenient solution is to develop static equivalent of the dynamic pages and have them on your site. Another way to avoid such dynamic URLs is to rewrite these URLs using a syntax that is accepted by the crawler and also understood as equivalent to the dynamic URL by the application server. The Amazon site shows dynamic URLs in such syntax. If you are using Apache Web Server, you can use Apache rewrite rules to enable this conversion. Redirect pages. Sometimes pages have a meta refresh tag that redirects any visitor automatically to another page. Some search engines refuse to index a page that has a high refresh rate. The meta refresh tag, however, does not affect Google. Image maps without alt text. Avoid image maps without text or with links. Image maps should have alt text, as also required under the American Disabilities Act for public websites, and the home page should not have images as links. Instead, HTML links should be used. This is because search engines would not read image links, and the linked pages may not get crawled. Frames. There are some engines whose spiders won't work with frames on your site. A web page that is built Using frames is actually a combination of content from separate pages that have been blended into a single page through a frameset instruction page. The frameset page does not have any content or links that would have promoted spidering. The frameset page could block the spider's movement. The workaround is by placing a summary of the page content and relevant description in the frameset page, and also by placing a link to the home page on it. Tables. When you use tables on the key pages, and if some columns have descriptions while others have numbers, it is possible that this may push your keywords down the page. Search engines break up the table and read them for the content the columns have. The first column is read first, then the next, and so on. Thus, if the first column had numbers and the next one had useful descriptions, the positioning of these descriptions will suffer. The strategy is to avoid using such tables near the top of the key pages. Large sections of JavaScript also will have the same effect on the search engines. The HTML part will be pushed down. Thus again, place your long JavaScripts lower down on key pages. Link spamming. Realizing the importance of links and link analysis in search engine results, several link farms and free-for-all sites have appeared that offer to provide links to your sites. This is also referred to as link spamming. Most search engines are smarter to this obvious tactic and know how to spot this. Such FFA sites, as they are known, do not provide link quality or link context, two factors that are important in link analysis. Thus, the correct strategy is to avoid link spamming and not get carried away by what seems to be too simple a solution. Conclusion. If you're looking for some simple things that you can do to increase the position of your site's rank in the search engines or directories, this section will give you some hard-hitting and simple tips that you can put into action right away. What should you do now? It is worth cataloging the basic principles to be enforced to increase website traffic and search engine rankings. Create a site with valuable content, products, or services. Place primary and secondary keywords within the first 25 words in your page content and spread them evenly throughout the document. Research and use the right keywords and phrases to attract your target customers. Use your keywords in the right fields and references within your web page, like title, meta tags, headers, etc. Keep your site design simple so that your customers can navigate easily between web pages, find what they want, and buy products and services. Submit your web pages, that is, every web page and not just the home page, to the most popular search engines and directory services. Hire someone to do so if required. Be sure this is a manual submission. Do not engage an automated submission service. Keep track of changes in search engine algorithms and processes and accordingly modify your web pages so your search engine ranking remains high. Use online tools and utilities to keep track of how your website is doing. Monitor your competitors and the top-ranked websites to see what they are doing right in the way of design, navigation, content, keywords, etc. Use reports and logs from your web hosting company to see where your traffic is coming from. Analyze your visitor location and their incoming sources, whether search engines or links from other sites, and the keywords they use to find you. Make your customer visit easy and give them plenty of ways to remember you in the form of newsletters, free reports, reduction coupons, etc. Demonstrate your industry and product or service expertise by writing and submitting articles for your website or for article banks so you are perceived as an expert in your field. When selling products online, use simple payment and shipment methods to make your customers' experience fast and easy. When not sure, hire professionals. Though it may seem costly, it is a lot less expensive than spending your money on a website which no one visits. Don't look at your website as a static brochure. Treat it as a dynamic, ever-changing sales tool and location, just like your real store to which your customers visit with the same seriousness. Useful resources you really should check out. Great places to start. Affiliate Marketing Free Training. 8 videos provide you with the basic skills and knowledge of getting your affiliate business started today. You'll learn how to set up a blog, upload files to your server, register with networks, and get your affiliate links. A great place to start, and all of this for free. Faster, Smarter, Better Online. This 12-month intensive course gives you the brains behind making money online so you can scale your business to 6 figures or more per year. You get pre-made affiliate templates done for you every month, as well as 189 things to not do as a newbie. Comes highly recommended. Tools for building your own mailing list. Mega Money Emails. Possibly one of the best turnkey solutions that can be applied to anything you're currently doing in the internet marketing niche. They offer professional sign-up pages and pre-written affiliate emails to help you make money with your own subscribers. Saves you a lot of time and sets you up so you can start selling your own products in the near future. Product Creation Services. Platinum Resell Rights. Provides high-quality video training products on a monthly basis so you can start selling today. New members have reported to earn at least $100 per month starting from scratch. Silver membership offers hours of training and sample products so you'll know exactly how to set up and install every product. If time is an issue, this is where you should go. This has been Advanced SEO Techniques, written by Leroy Vincent, narrated by Dwayne DeSalvo. Copyright 2019 by Leroy Vincent. Production copyright by Leroy Vincent. The end.